Hi, my name is Blossom Brown. I'm a public health education major here at Mississippi University for Women. I'm from Greenwood, Mississippi, and this is my homograph. I identify as a bisexual transgender woman. Probably for the past 8 years, I've identified as transgender. Um, I was one of those people where my environment didn't really condone it, especially at home. So whenever I go out in public, I would change my clothes and be the woman that I am. But when I go home, I would have to change out of it because my parents weren't so accepting of it at the time. Of course, they didn't know, but I think they sort of suspected it. And so that was kind of an issue with me on the inside because I felt like I wasn't able to be the person that I wanted to be. I came out at a younger age because I didn't want to go 40 and 50 years not being who I want to be and being myself. And I understand why some trans women or men wait till they're older to come out because of obligations such as family and friends. Losing them could be detrimental. It could be because of the potential of job loss. Housing is another issue. We all come out at different times. My coming out experience was liberating, I must say. When I first came out, I came out in high school. I knew I was bisexual because I was attracted to both, but whenever I dated, I felt like something else was still missing. I didn't feel 100% myself. And so after doing some research and just thinking about my behavior as I was younger, how I would used to play with Barbie dolls, would want to hang with my mother all the time, and just want to do girly things, I'm like, hey, I think I'm transgender. And after doing more research, that's exactly what it was. And so I started making my transition at the age of 20. Transgender basically means that you feel opposite of the gender that you were specifically born. Like if you're a male and you feel female, you're pretty much transgender. And basically, what we do is take hormones to align our outside bodies with our insides because of the whole thing of gender dysphoria. Gender dysphoria is basically when you have this disgust for your entire body because you feel like that you were born inside of the wrong body. A lot of people tend to get it confused with sexual orientation. Gender identity is basically who you identify as. Sexual orientation is basically who you're attracted to. Some of the challenges that I face here in the South as a transgender woman basically are opportunities. For one, I was a nursing major for all of my college life, but I couldn't get into nursing school. It wasn't because of my grades or my GPA or my ACT score. A lot of it had to do with the fact that I was transgender, and it's pretty much going into territory that people are so afraid of and don't know how to deal with, so they pretty much avoid it altogether. It was really hard for me. I ended up going through depression, felt like a failure because no one would want to give me that opportunity. It was the same thing in healthcare because I'm also an HIV/AIDS advocate. I couldn't find any volunteer opportunities that were available to trans people because a lot of those opportunities would go more towards the MSM community, especially dealing with the focus of HIV and AIDS. There was this nice organization called HRC that I reached out to, and they reached back out to me, and that's kind of where things went uphill from that point. And it helped bring the conversation of transgender people open. I think it's great now that people like Laverne Cox and Janet Mock, just to name a few, are just bringing the whole transgender conversation out there, and so it's kind of opened doors for the rest of us. And definitely here at this school, I am one of the few trans women here, if not the only one. And so I feel like I have to make a statement that, hey, my education is just as important as everybody else, and that I want a career and I want to get out there and help people and build resources that people will need, and I feel like I deserve that. And so, I'm just blessed that I attend a school where I'm able to do that, because in reality, as a trans person, we don't always have that. Some universities, they give you problems about the smallest things, whether it be the bathroom or your resident. There are so many problems that we face in just education, period. I think there is a misconception. I think that people think that we're just forcing ourselves on them, and that is not true. By no means necessary. First of all, we all just want to fit in. We want equal rights. We want to be able to love the person that we want to be with, just like any heterosexual or cisgender person would. And we need to find a way of working around it. We all need to work together, basically. You know, it shouldn't be that one side is over here and one side is over there. You know, there should be unity in that. And I was just thinking, as if I was a heterosexual person, would I care about who somebody would be in a relationship with? I was like, no, I wouldn't care, because love is love. It has no sexual orientation or gender identity. It comes in so many different forms, and I feel that here in Mississippi, we need to work on that. We need to work on loving each other and quit judging so much. So our community here is great. I think we're becoming more open-minded, and I think just us getting attention and kind of being on the forefront is such a good thing. It's a good positive thing, because whether we know it or not, we're changing minds and hearts. Someone who may not necessarily believe in homosexuality but accepts us as people is such a good thing. And my message for the LGBT community would be, first of all, love yourself, express yourself. There's no one else like you. You deserve to be happy, you deserve to be successful, and no one can take that away from you. Don't let people get you down because of who you choose to love or who you choose to identify as. We all go through struggles. Believe me, we all do. No one is better than the other. But you have to find a way to kind of stay in there and don't give up on your hope and your dreams. To the heterosexual community, the only thing I would suggest is try opening up your hearts more. Try understanding. Try understanding. I think that is the key. And see, I think that's the thing that kind of separates us, is understanding. We're not here to force our beliefs on you and how we live our lives. We just want equal rights too. We want to live in society just as normal people, just like you. You know, we're loving, kind, hardworking people. And oftentimes people don't wish to see that because of our sexual orientation or our gender identity. But people should just realize that we're people too. You know, we're not going anywhere. And do we just want to be treated equally?